Villains. We love to hate them, we hate to love them. But every now and then, an anime villain comes along who makes us question everything. These aren't just bad guys causing chaos for the fun of it. They're characters who challenge us, who have motives that sometimes just make sense. Today, we're looking at anime villains with a point. Pain, or Nagato, is one of the most memorable villains in the Naruto series due to his unique philosophy and tragic backstory. Originally a war orphan from Ame, Nagato endured immense loss and suffering from a young age, witnessing his family and friends die in the crossfire of ninja wars. Guided by Jiraiya, Nagato once believed in a peaceful solution to conflict, but repeated trauma and the harsh realities of war changed him. He lost faith in traditional ideas of peace, believing that only through shared suffering could humanity understand the consequences of violence and war. Nagato's journey is marked by tragedy. He loses his loved ones to the wars in his homeland, leaving him disillusioned. His transformation into pain is complete when he unleashes his rage upon Konoha, decimating the village in an attempt to make others feel the agony he endured. In his confrontation with Naruto, he reveals his ideology, arguing that peace can only be achieved if people experience pain on a collective level. By forcing the world to know suffering, he believes humanity can reach an understanding and ultimately, peace. This encounter with pain forces Naruto to confront the harsh truths of the world, challenging his belief in non-violent solutions and shaping his journey towards true peace. With this ideology in mind, Nagato became Pain, an almost godlike figure who sought to end the cycle of hatred through fear and pain. By inflicting suffering on others, he hoped to bring lasting peace even if it meant extreme methods. Pain's approach to achieving peace challenges Naruto's own ideals, forcing the young hero to confront complex moral questions about justice and revenge. Pain's character highlights the complex motivations that can drive someone to embrace villainy even with a seemingly noble end goal. Stain, also known as the Hero Killer, brings a unique ideology to My Hero Academia by critiquing the very foundations of the Hero Society. Stain's world is one where heroes are celebrated and commercialized, and as a former would-be hero himself, he feels disillusioned by how shallow and self-serving many heroes seem. For Stain, heroism should be rooted in selflessness and a genuine desire to protect others. However, he perceives that the profession has become tainted by individuals seeking fame, wealth, and status rather than pure motives. This disillusionment drives Stain to take drastic actions, targeting those he considers false heroes to purify the hero system. Stain's motivations are highlighted in his encounter with Tenya Ida, who is pursuing Stain out of revenge. Stain confronts Ida's motives, accusing him of being a fake hero focused on personal vendettas rather than justice. During the fight, Deku and Todoroki join to stop Stain, and he acknowledges Deku's sincerity and selflessness as traits of a true hero. His ideology has a lasting impact, resonating even after his capture. It influences young villains and even some heroes who question the motives behind their actions. Stain's radical stance challenges the entire society of heroes, sparking a cultural reckoning that leaves a deep impact on the world of My Hero Academia. Stain's philosophy, radical as it is, resonates with some characters and viewers alike. His single-minded commitment to his cause and refusal to compromise in his beliefs set him apart from other villains who might act out of personal gain or revenge. Stain's story raises fundamental questions about the nature of heroism, explaining what happens when a system meant to protect becomes flawed and corrupted. Through his actions, Stain forces us to confront the hidden issues within a world that otherwise appeals ideal. Maram, the Chimera Ant King, begins his life as a cold, calculating ruler who views humans as little more than prey. Created with unmatched power and intellect, he embodies a raw, survival of the fittest mentality. Darwinism, if you will. Initially seeing himself as superior to all other beings, Maram's journey explores the theme of humanity from an outsider's perspective, questioning what it means to be human and what makes life valuable. As he encounters human beings who display kindness, resilience, and complexity, Maram begins to undergo a dramatic transformation in his understanding of the world. Maram's transformation is kicked off by his interactions with Komagi, a blind girl who excels at Gungi, a traditional strategy game. Despite his strength, Maram is humbled by Komagi's skills, and her purity and vulnerability intrigue him, challenging his initial views on humanity. Their relationship evolves, and he begins to experience emotions like empathy and love. This is most powerfully shown in his final moments where, instead of pursuing conquest, he chooses to spend his remaining time with Komagi. Through Komugi, Maram dies with a newfound appreciation for life, leaving behind his ruthless ambitions. His journey from a merciless king to a being capable of compassion is a profound commentary on the potential for growth and understanding even within the darkest souls. Maram went through extreme character development because the way he started and the way he ended couldn't be more different. At first, Maram's only concern is strength and dominance, believing his purpose is to conquer and rule. However, his encounters with humans change this belief, especially when he meets someone who possesses qualities that intrigue and humble him. This relationship not only humanizes Maram, but also forces him to reevaluate his own sense of superiority. His character arc goes from ruthless tyrant to reflective being, grappling with empathy, making him a fascinating and multidimensional villain who raises questions about morality, growth, and redemption. Askeladd in Vinland Saga is a morally ambiguous character who combines cunning, brutality, and charisma. On the surface, he seems like a typical Viking mercenary, driven by greed and self-interest. However, as the story unfolds, it becomes clear that Askeladd's actions are shaped by a complex set of loyalties and personal traumas. He despises the Vikings' brutal culture but uses it as a means to an end, skillfully navigating its violence and chaos for his own purpose. One defining moment is when Askeladd manipulates Thorfinn, the protagonist, using the young warrior's desire for revenge as a tool to control him. Okay, quick refresher. So, Thorfinn's father is a warrior named Thors, and Thors was having a duel with Askeladd. Long story short, Askeladd double-crossed him and dishonorably killed him, so Thorfinn has been seeking revenge this entire time. Okay, refresher over. This ruthlessness highlights his pragmatic, often cruel nature. However, when King Sven threatens to invade Wales, Askeladd's true loyalty comes to light. In an act of ultimate sacrifice, he kills the king to protect his homeland, knowing it will lead to his own death. This moment reveals Askeladd's true character, a man willing to give up everything for his people, even if it means embracing villainy and betrayal. His death cements his role as a tragic anti-hero whose seemingly selfish actions were often driven by a higher purpose, leaving a profound impact on Thorfinn and the audience alike. Eren Yeager's transformation from idealistic protagonist to a morally ambiguous anti-hero is one of the most dramatic shifts in Attack on Titan. Starting as a boy who dreams of freedom and vengeance against the Titans, Eren's world is turned upside down as he uncovers the truth about the cycle of violence and oppression in his society. The realization that his people, the Eldians, are persecuted by the rest of humanity leads him to question his original goals and to adopt a much darker worldview. Eren's descent into villainy reaches its peak when he initiates the Rumbling, a catastrophic event where Titans trample over entire nations. This act horrifies his friends and forces them to confront the horrific cost of Eren's new vision of freedom. In a conversation with his childhood friends, Eren reveals his reasoning, expressing his belief that only through complete destruction can true peace be achieved for his people. Eren has a mindset like Beerus the Destroyer from the Dragon Ball series. Beerus' whole motto is, before creation comes destruction, and Eren resonates with that. This choice creates a moral crisis for his former allies, who must grapple with the question of whether Eren is still the hero they once knew. His transformation challenges viewers to consider the price of freedom and the lines one might cross in pursuit of it, ultimately leaving a complex and polarizing legacy. As Eren's understanding of the world deepens, so does his desire for freedom, an all-encompassing absolute freedom for himself and his people. However, his path to achieve that freedom involves unprecedented destruction and sacrifice, forcing him to make choices that horrify even his closest friends. Eren's descent into villainy raises powerful questions about the cost of freedom, the cycle of revenge, and the line between heroism and tyranny. His transformation challenges the viewer to consider the lengths one might go to protect those they love, even at the cost of becoming the very thing they once fought against. As we've explored the depths of these complex villains, it's clear that their stories go way beyond mere antagonism. Pain, Stain, Maram, Askeladd, and Eren each embody unique philosophies that challenge our understanding of morality, heroism, and the consequences of one's choices. They remind us that the line between hero and villain is often blurred, shaped by trauma, ideology, and the pursuit of personal beliefs. Each character's journey prompts us to reflect on the nature of humanity and the societal constructs that influence our actions. Whether through Pain's quest for peace through suffering, Stain's radical critique of heroism, Maram's transformation through love, Askeladd's sacrifices for loyalty, or Aaron's dark path to freedom, these narratives resonate deeply, prompting discussions that linger long after the credits roll. But what did you guys think? Are all villains truly evil, or do some have motivations that evoke empathy? Let me know in the comments, guys, and let's keep the conversation going. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into anime's most fascinating villains, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. And guys, there's new anime out there on the rise, and its name is Dandadan. So if you guys are interested on what you need to know before you watch it, tap this icon right here, and while you're at it, visit the channel and watch the other videos we have here. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.